is the true story.
C'est une histoire vraie.
Seven strangers.
De 7 étrangers.
Pigs to live in France.
In a chateau. Work together and have their lives changed.
C'est la vie.
Found out what happened.
When people stop being polite.
What are you on, dog? Start getting real.
The real world.
Hi everybody and welcome to part 2 of this season's The Real World reality show, reunion show. I'm your host, and today we have with us some of the people who were the very center of the drama that went down in the house. Let me introduce you to some of the most memorable housemates the real world has ever seen. First up, you know her, you love her, you hate her, and most importantly, she doesn't care. Wendy Bath, ladies and gentlemen.
It's nice to be here tonight.
Next, we have with us the man who was unafraid to go head-to-head with anyone in the house, Mark Nunn Priest. Very nice to have you.
Are we talking wit or grit? Because I have them both.
Oh, okay. And last, but certainly not least, your favorite alcoholic and mine, Robert Miller, everybody.
I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a drunk. Alcoholics go to meetings.
So before we start and really get into it, I just want to bring up something real quick. We invited another one of the housemates, Keanu Reeves, to today's reunion show. Why? In fact, I do believe his exact words were, "There's no way I'm going to spend even a second more of my time with that cheating, lying, drunk farmer that is Robert Miller." Those are some pretty strong words there. Would you like to respond to that at all?
Not really. I just want to say that anytime that low-life carpenter wants to run his mouth, he should do it in my face.
Okay then. We'll get more into that in just a little bit. But in the meantime, I think we should start with ladies first. Don't you, Miss Wendy Bath?
Me?
Yes, you. You were quite the controversial figure in the house this season.
What's that?
Oh yeah. We've never had a real-world housemate talked about as much as you. I mean, people loved you, people hated you, but everybody was talking about you.
As it should be.
All right. I'm liking the attitude here. Real quick, is it true, the rumors I've heard, that you're engaged for a 5th time?
Yes,
Oh, so pretty. Congratulations.
thank you.
Who's the lucky man?
Ashton. I really think it's going to work out this time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a little bit younger than you.
Yes, but I think that can work in our benefit.
Oh, okay. What I really want to talk about right now is the friction in the house between you and the person that I would go as far as to call your biggest enemy, Eric Clark.
Oh, yes. Good old Eric Clark. Charming, isn't he?
I mean, you guys just did not get along. It was like from the first moment you saw each other, you were both out for one another's blood. Can you let us, audience members, in on what went wrong there?
Well, as you know, I'm very involved in NOW, a women's rights organization. And I feel as if women and men should be treated equally, especially in marriage. And the fact that there are so many women worldwide, even in America, who don't have those basic equal rights that men have, whether it's in the public life or private, it's just absolutely disgusting. And Eric Clark is, well, how should I put this? Misogynistic and a chauvinistic pig.
Pork for dinner?
Okay, so I guess the other rumors about you and him having relations is also untrue.
What? Me? With him? There's no way. That would never happen, even if he was the worst lion left on the planet. I hate him.
I mean, yeah, I think the audience may have caught on to that fact. In fact, my favorite moment between the two of you, early on in the season, I don't know if you remember, but he was sitting on the couch in the living room watching the game with the rest of the guys, and you walked by and he said to you, "Go make me a sandwich, because that's where you belong." And he told you to go be a good little housewife, I do believe. His exact words. I mean, I've got to admit there, I thought that you were actually going to leap across the coffee table and start tearing off body parts.
Oh, I remember that. And he definitely deserved everything I gave him for. He thinks he knows all there is to know about marriage and how to have the perfect relationship with a woman, when in reality, his girlfriend, he treats like a slave. She has to do everything he says when he says it, and she can't argue or have opinions of her own. He also made some judgmental comments about how many times I've been engaged or married. He like I'm a tramp or something just because I've been engaged a lot. He doesn't know me. How dare he judge me? I'm still young. I have a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, I mean, the two of you caused a lot of tension in the house. That was felt by everybody, actually. I mean, Daniel Franklin even tried a few times to get you guys to compromise, or at the very least, agree to disagree. But the two of you were just not having it.
Yeah, Daniel Franklin tried to get us to meet in the middle there, but there's just no having it with Eric Clerk. And I. But then again, what do you all really expect from him, the disgusting pig? At the end of the day, I want nothing to do with him or his chauvinistic ways. He needs to stay as far away from me and my personal life, and I feel sorry for any woman who has to put up with the likes of him.
I mean, I will say that speaking of drama in the house, I am just dying to hear from you, Mark Numpriest. We have tons of questions and comments from fans about you.
And they're up for interpretation.
So our audiences want to know. You're in college right now, earning a degree in religious studies. You're in a service fraternity in your school, and you hope to become a minister one day. And yet, for some reason, you just could not get along with any of your housemates. You picked fights with just about everybody in the house. You definitely picked fights with everybody here today. And you were either the cause or at the center of every fight that occurred. What happened?
They just didn't like the kind of person that I was, but what can I say? I'm better than they are. And they are godless, uneducated fools. All of them.
You really think that's what kind of people they are?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. At the bottom of society. I mean, really, the miller isn't even smart enough to be a good farmer.
Good farmer. Throwing words around in the old whiskey barrel there, aren't you?
Read my lips. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I forgot you can't read.
I can read.
As you can see, these belligerent people who call themselves my housemates thought that drinking and telling raunchy stories was their ideal of a good time, but frankly, I'm above that and was disgusted to have to be around her for so long.
Yeah, I mean, some tension was definitely in the house, especially between you and Abby Prioress. I mean, but can I say Abby was an educated woman, came from a similar background as to you, and yet you fought with her constantly on the show this season. And can I, just real quick, while we're on the subject of Abby, did anybody else notice the forehead on that chick? Just like, whoa.
First of all, educated woman. Really? Are you kidding me? Second of all, I wouldn't say that we fought. We just had a few minor disagreements.
Ha. Minor disagreements, is that what we're calling it now?
I mean, I'm kind of inclined to agree with Wendy Bath over here. Those minor disagreements, as you call them, ended with her screaming at you in French.
And bad French, I might add. Very bad.
But I will say, Abby Prioress wasn't the only female you tangled with. As I'm sure our audience has already started to witness, you and Wendy had some memorable moments on the show.
I would have to say that Eric Clerk is right. I think men should have the power in the relationship. I mean, it's worked for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, just pick up a book. It's written there for you, all the answers in black and white.
You know what the solution to your problem is? You're used to being surrounded by good, wholesome, church-going girls. Then again, maybe that's exactly your problem. Too wholesome, church-going girls.
I dare you question me. We'll discuss this in Latin.
What kind of idiot are you? Men should have all the power? Ha! Do you have any idea how messed up or how badly you men would mess up everything if us women weren't around to clean it up? What kind of idiots are y'all? Men should have all the power? Ha! Do you have any idea how messed up the world would be with men in charge and not having women around to clean up their messes? Well, let me tell you, if you want to talk about something, you go see a man. If you want to get something done, you go see a woman.
Well, let's talk about making me a sandwich.
Okay, well, I mean, I hate I mean,
I'm good.
alright, well, you spill your drink there, you know.
No, me neither.
We're starting to run out of a little bit of time here, but we still have a few more questions to go around, so. Mark Numpriest, you obviously got into fights with Robert Miller as well. Tell me where that animosity came from. I mean, from the audience's point of view, it's like you hated him from the instant you saw him and that you never really gave him a chance.
He just wasn't worth my time, and unlike the rest of my housemates, I wasn't here to make lifelong friends, and besides, he's drunk, he's always drinking, and he's an uneducated farmer who never went to college.
I'm not drinking.
So, I mean, I can see why maybe the drinking could cause an issues between you two, and I mean, he does have a tendency to say things without thinking them through all the way, but what does college have anything to do about whether or not you like him or don't like him?
Every man knows that to get anywhere in this world, you need a good, solid education, and to do it from a reputable school.
What did you just say? Are you implying that women don't need degrees?
Exactly what you're trying to say here.
I'm sorry, did your uneducated brain not understand the big word though?
Just because I don't have some fancy degree doesn't make you better than me.
It does.
And just because you're a man, that certainly doesn't make you better than me.
Oh, I believe it does. Farm boy, housewife.
That does it.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And I do believe that is all. Thank you for tuning into part 2 of this season's reunion show. I'm your host, and remember, together we find out what happens when people stop being polite and start being real on The Real World.